Picture this, a rainy day in Abuja, Nigeria, July 2025, and the whole world is watching. A young man, just 37, steps off a plane, his boots hitting the wet ground like a drumbeat that says something big is coming. This is Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, the youngest president anywhere. He's not here for a party, he's here for a fight, not with guns, but with ideas. The ECOWAS summit is supposed to bring West Africa together, but Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, a big boss in Africa, has other plans. In front of everyone, cameras, leaders, the whole continent, he calls Traoré a boy with a gun, saying he's too young, too small, too nothing to matter. The room goes dead quiet, like the air before a storm. Everyone waits for Traoré to explode, to yell, to fight back. But what he does next? It's not just a reply, it's a shock that shakes Africa to its roots. His words, his calm, his strength don't just quiet Tinubu, they light a fire in millions of hearts. This isn't just a story about a meeting. It's a tale of a young hero standing up to a giant, a soldier who won't bend, a moment that could change Africa forever. Keep listening, because what Traoré says will blow your mind and make you cheer for a new Africa. The rain pours as Traoré's black cars drive through Abuja's busy streets. Markets are full of people selling tomatoes and cloth, shouting over the rain's noise. Tall buildings shine, but Traoré doesn't care about the city's glow. He sits in the car, his uniform neat, his red cap tilted, his eyes sharp like a hawk. He's not from this world of fancy suits and big talks. He grew up in Kera, a tiny village in Burkina Faso, where houses are mud and kids share one book. His dad, a teacher, showed him how to read by candlelight, telling him to dream big. Traoré wanted to study rocks, to find gold and lithium for his people, not for strangers who take Africa's riches. But life had other ideas. At 22, he joined the army, fighting bad guys in the hot, sandy Sahel, where friends died because leaders didn't send help. By 34, in 2022, he led a coup, not to be king, but to save Burkina Faso from leaders who let foreign companies steal its wealth. Now, at 37, he's the president, carrying 22 million dreams. People call him the shy kid who became a hero, like Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's great leader who fought for freedom until he was killed. Traoré's here in Abuja to fight for his country, and he knows it won't be easy. Something big is coming, you can feel it. The cars stop at the Transcorp Hilton, a huge hotel with shiny gold walls, even in the rain. Nigerian men in fancy suits stare at Traoré, whispering, "That's the boy general," with smirks. The words sting, but Traoré doesn't blink. He's heard worse. Enemies calling him a troublemaker, rich men saying he's nothing. To some, he's a soldier who doesn't belong. To others, he's a star, a man who says Africa can stand tall without begging. Inside the hotel, the summit hall is like a king's palace. Flags of 15 countries hang on the walls, green, red, yellow, bright like a rainbow. A big wooden table sits in the middle, with names like Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Burkina Faso on shiny plates. Leaders fix their earphones, some bored, some nervous, while cameras show the world everything. President Tinubu sits at the front, his glasses flashing, laughing loud with a man from France. At 73, Tinubu is the big man here. He's ruled Nigeria's politics forever, made money in Lagos, and now leads ECOWAS, the group that runs West Africa. He's good at smiles, deals, and power. But he's got a problem. Traoré and his friends in Mali and Niger. They left ECOWAS, saying it helps the West, not Africa. They work with Russia now, kicked out French soldiers, and took back their mines. To Tinubu, they're breaking his rules. To them, he's stopping Africa's freedom. What happens next will keep you hooked. Traoré sits down, his small team tough and ready. Across the table, Mali's Assimi Goïta, another young soldier leader, nods at him. Guinea's Mamadi Doumbouya, who took power like Traoré, gives a small smile. These three, young, strong, in uniforms, are like brothers facing a big fight. The meeting starts, a man from Ghana with a smooth voice saying it's time to talk. Tinubu stands, his voice big, like he owns the room. "Friends," he says, smiling, but his eyes are cold. "We're here to bring Africa together. But let's be real. Leading isn't for boys playing with guns. It takes wisdom, time, strength." He looks at Traoré, his smile turning mean. The room goes quiet, like everyone stopped breathing. A Nigerian helper laughs, then stops, his face red. Traore sits still, his hands together, his face calm, but his eyes stare at Tinubu, not moving, not scared. The cameras catch it, and millions watching feel their hearts race. This isn't just a mean word. It's a way to say Traore's country, his fight, his people are nothing. Everyone waits for him to shout, to fight, to show he's mad. But Traore stays quiet, his silence loud like a storm. That silence makes Tinubu nervous, his hand grabbing water he doesn't drink. Goita leans back, not impressed. Doumbouya's eyes get small, like he knows something big is coming. This insult is about every young person, every fighter, every African who wants to be free. Traore's silence says he's not done. Keep watching, because it's about to get bigger. The meeting goes on, people talking about trade and keeping Africa safe, but the real talk is in whispers. Nigerian helpers lean to Tinubu, looking worried, talking about new punishments for Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Goita passes a note to Traore, saying, "He wants you to get mad." Traore nods, his face like stone. He's not new to tricks. He's fought in deserts where one mistake means death, where bad guys hide in sand, and friends turn on you for money. This is just another fight, and Tinubu's words are just another test. As the meeting ends, Traore walks through the hotel's shiny halls, his boots quiet. Koulibaly walks with him, his voice low, mad. "They're planning to hurt us more, Captain," he says. "Tinubu wants to break us. Say something. Show we're strong." Traore shakes his head, his voice calm. "We don't fight words with words," he says. "We fight with work. Let him talk. We'll show them." His words are simple but strong, like a promise you can trust. That night, while Abuja sleeps, Traore stays awake. In a small room, far from the fancy places where Tinubu laughs with rich men, Traore sits with Goita and Doumbouya. The room is plain, just a table with maps and papers. They talk quietly, like warriors planning a big move. They dream of a new Africa, where gold and lithium stay home, not sent to Europe or America. They draw roads and ports that don't need ECOWAS or Western money. Traore's pen moves fast, his brain seeing Africa's riches like a story he can change. "No more outsiders taking our stuff," he says, his voice soft but full of fire. "We trade as equals, or we don't trade." Goita nods, his eyes hard. Doumbouya adds a line to the map, joining Guinea's mines to Burkina Faso's factories. This isn't just talk, it's a new Africa being born. You won't believe what they do next. Upstairs, in Tinubu's big room, laughter rings out, glasses clinking as he talks with men from big banks in France. A helper whispers, "Traore's meeting with Mali and Guinea. Is it bad?" Tinubu laughs, waving his hand. "Let the boys play," he says. "They'll come back when their money's gone." But he doesn't see what's happening below, doesn't hear the plans, doesn't know Africa is changing. By morning, the summit hall is loud, journalists pushing at the doors, cameras flashing. Tinubu's mean words are everywhere, on phones, on TVs, with names like hashtag Traore versus Tinubu and hashtag Africa Rising all over. In Nigeria, young people in Kano and Ibadan make videos, shouting, "Who's the boy now?" In Burkina Faso, students stand in Ouagadougou streets, waving flags by pictures of Sankara, calling Traore's name. Africa is watching, waiting for the next move. The morning meeting starts, the air heavy like before a big rain. Traore stands to speak, his voice clear. "Freedom isn't given," he says. "It's ours. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, we choose our way. Not because we don't want unity, but because we want respect." People listen hard, even those who don't like him. Then Tinubu cuts in, his voice sharp. "Let the grown-ups talk, young man," he says, his smile mean. "Your revolution is just a kid's game." The room gasps, the insult big and loud. A woman from Senegal hides her face, a man from Ghana shakes his head, and cameras catch it all. Traore stops, his eyes on Tinubu, the silence like a tightrope. Everyone waits for him to yell, to fight. But Traore doesn't. He closes his book, nods, and sits, his face calm, his silence stronger than any shout. That moment goes everywhere, phones buzzing from Accra to Nairobi. A young Nigerian journalist whispers, "He didn't move." Who is he? Traore's calm is power, and it's shaking the world. Keep listening, because it's about to get wild. That evening, the big hall shines with bright lights, waiters carrying drinks, the air full of money smells. Tinubu sits at the main table, laughing with men from big banks in France, his voice loud. Traore is put at the edge, near people from small places like South Sudan and Guinea-Bissau, a way to say, you're not big. But Traore doesn't care about fancy tables. He talks to South Sudan's Deng Akil about sharing energy, about using lithium for African homes, not foreign cars. To his right, Guinea-Bissau's Alfonso Lopez listens as Traore draws a plan for a new money system, free from France's grip. Why do we let others hold our money? Traore asks, his voice quiet but strong. We can make our own way. Africa for Africans. The men nod, their eyes bright. Tinubu, far away, raises his glass, laughing. Burkina Faso will come back, he says. They always do when the money stops. Traore doesn't react, his face still. He stands, his team follows, and they leave quietly. The hall doesn't see, but Akil, Lopez, and a man from Chad watch, thinking hard. Power isn't always loud, and Traore is building something big, stay with us, because it's about to change everything. The next morning, while people drink coffee in the hotel's shiny halls, Traore calls a surprise meeting in a small room. Its walls plain, its table old. It's a shock, and it spreads fast. By 8:45, the room is full. Mali, Guinea, Niger, Chad, Algeria, South Sudan, even someone from Ethiopia watching. Nigeria's team comes late, looking mad. Tinubu not there, sending a helper. Traore stands, holding a simple folder, his voice steady. Yesterday, I was stopped when I spoke of freedom, he says. Today I show it. He pushes 3 papers across the table, the sound loud in the quiet. People read fast. A new deal between Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea to trade gold, lithium, and other riches. No outsiders, no ECOWAS, no French money. They'll build roads, share soldiers, make their own factories. This isn't to fight, Traore says, looking at Nigeria's man. It's to protect. Africa shouldn't beg to trade with itself. The room is quiet, Goita smiling, Doumbouya nodding, Chad's man writing fast. Nigeria's helper stands, shocked. You didn't ask ECOWAS, he says. Traore's eyes are calm. Because ECOWAS didn't ask us when it tried to hurt us. The words hit hard, and news reaches Tinubu, who storms out, his face red. They're leaving Nigeria out, he shouts, but it's too late. The papers are signed. The deal is real. You won't believe what happens next. That afternoon, a press meeting fills the main hall, cameras everywhere, people shouting. Traore stands with Goita, Doumbouya, and Niger's Abdourahmane Tiani, one microphone for 4 men. We're here for respect, not fighting, Traore says. We start the Sahel Sovereign Alliance, trade and safety on our terms. The room goes crazy, questions flying. Someone asks, are you leaving ECOWAS? Traore smiles a little. We're not leaving. We're moving forward without asking. Tinubu comes late, pushing through people, his face showing he's lost control. The final meeting is private, the air hot, no cameras. Tinubu stands, his voice shaking. You shame ECOWAS, he yells at Traore. You break our unity. Traore looks at him, calm like a clear night. I'm a soldier who became a leader, he says, not a leader pretending to be a soldier. Unity means respect, not control. The room goes quiet, even Tinubu's friends looking down. Then, as the meeting ends, a microphone left on catches Traore's words to his helper. Africa doesn't need bosses. It needs respect. Those words spread fast, like fire in dry grass. In Dakar, students show them on big screens. In Lagos, radios play them again and again. In Ouagadougou, people dance by Sankar's pictures, shouting Traore's name. Nigeria's young people write online, asking, is this the leader we laugh at, or the one we follow? Traore leaves Abuja at dawn, his car's quiet, no cameras. As his plane flies up, Africa is different, his silence, his work, his words making a new story. From Ethiopia to Rwanda, from Lagos to Nairobi, people say his name, not loud, but with hope. This isn't just a meeting. It's a story for a new Africa, a tale of a young man who didn't shout but built, showing the world. Real power doesn't need noise, it just needs to stand tall.